You mentioned that you worked both non-scripted and scripted. What would be the differences between a development for scripted and a non-scripted?
For a
Like different challenges and.
Well, non-scripted today, it's imperative that you do a sizzle reel. Usually a 5-minute reel, which lays out the characters,
Right.
the setting, what the arc of the series is going to be. And for that, you've got to find really unique, exceptional people. What's interesting is a lot of the non-scripted shows that are working, that are hits, come from the South and the Southeast.
Right.
And I think development people like to suggest that that's because you have real characters in that part of the country. So the most successful non-scripted series right now is Duck Dynasty, which those characters are really unique. They certainly have developed a brand. They had a going company before the television series, and now it's become even bigger and bigger. So you got to find those real characters, and then you have to make a sizzle reel using
Right.
them, and then you take it.
So, what are some personality elements, I guess, that a development executive should have? Like negotiating skills, or should they know how to talk to people? Should they know how to read really fast? Like, what are some?
I think you have to be able to recognize a good story.
Right.
That's going to be communicated via television, however we define television. That's their basic job, is to be able to recognize a good story. And that good story has to relate to the demo they represent or buy for. So there are a lot of good stories that relate to 45-year-olds or 50-year-olds. The buyers don't care about that. They really want to find stories that relate to an 18 to 35-year-old demo, as a rule.
I remember you were telling me you guys were having a hard time getting Baywatch produced. What was it about the script that made you really adamant about getting it made, getting it out there?
Because I realized that these lifeguards are heroes. And it really helps in terms of a drama if life or death, especially an action drama, that life or death reposes in the cauldron. And in Baywatch, that is true. A lifeguard out there in Santa Monica places his life in danger and to help somebody. And I recognize that. I think a lot of people who were approached on behalf of Baywatch didn't take that seriously. They thought of it was a TNA show. And I thought of it was because my son was a lifeguard. He wore those red bathing suits. I thought of it as a show about heroes who happened to wear uniforms. That's the way I looked at it. So that helped me buy in. There were a lot of other business factors that helped me buy in too. But if I hadn't have been able to get over that first threshold, I would have rejected just like everybody else did.
Thank you for watching this interview with Syd Vinnedge. And please, watch the next video in this series.